Hello, guys and girls. How are you all doing today? And welcome to the Pink Table Talk. I am your host, Maria Reed, and we are back with great topics here today. I know we've got a special treat. You've probably seen the graphic already. It's Think Like a Man. And today I'm so excited about our guest that we have. But first, you know what we always ask you to do? Go ahead on, text somebody, share this. And we're going to talk about some of the issues that men and women face as well as some relationship questions, girls. So you know we're ready for those. So make sure that you do that for me. Also, I am going to go ahead on and introduce our guest today. He is no stranger to our women's ministry. That's right. He comes and helps out with our women's ministry events that we have. He was just with us for He Said, She Said, God Said. He is a philanthropist. He has his own community called Man Up, which is a show actually as well here on Hope TV, and we are so glad to have him. He is the husband of the lovely Miss Ivy, who we love so much, has 4 children, great guy, and I believe he is and was born to talk about relationships, men and women. So would you all please welcome the voice himself, Mr. K.D. Bowe. Mr. Bowe.
What's up, Maria? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm winning. That's a little sleepy in my eyes, but yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning pretty hard. So there you go.
Oh, you know what? We're about to wake you up real good once we start talking about these women and what the questions are we have and the different things that we got going on.
All
But I
right.
want to talk to you first. And guys, go ahead on and begin sharing and liking this about Man Up. I
Hmm.
love that name, first of all, Man Up
Okay.
Community. And I've seen where you guys have the meetings and the different events that you do and you host. So my question to start out with is, how did you even come to the conclusion of starting something for men? Because, no offense to women, we have women's ministries everywhere. You
Oh
could
yeah.
throw a rock, a virtual rock on Facebook, Instagram, and it's a women's ministry about
Right.
something.
Right.
But you don't really find a man's man, such as yourself, with an outstanding men's community like Man Up. So how did that even start?
Well, I started what I needed. That's pretty much the
Mm,
answer to that. When I was growing up in my formative years of just determining what manhood was, what authentic manhood felt like, what how it landed, uh, I I had a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. So I always say that if I had a community where I could join, I could show my authentic self, bash free, judgment free, then I could probably be something incredible. If I could just tell somebody the whole story, if I could be real with somebody and learn, and don't just ask questions based off of what's going to sound good, but just ask the
hmm
questions that I really needed to know. How would I
Yeah.
win? And I created it. Yep. Man Up Community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, because I was wondering, like, did it come from something birthed on the inside? But I never heard of it that way. It was something that you needed, so you
Yeah.
created
I
it.
mean, and so what I found out was that there are so many other guys who feel the same way I feel. Those same guys saying, I have questions about life. I got father wounds. I got mother wounds. I got stuff. I got people who are looking at me and expecting the greatest and the best. And I want to give it to them. And for the most part, I deliver pretty well. But when I go home, I feel by myself. I feel alone.
Mm.
I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. And who does a man go to say ouch? And more importantly,
Wow.
who actually listens?
Wow. That in itself was very I just want you to know that was good. It's one thing that I want to talk to you about. I remember I was driving on the interstate and you were on the radio talking at this time, and it was a
Mhm.
statement I'll never forget that you talked about. And you said, women bend, men break. And I will never forget that. You don't even
Where's
remember saying, like, he's like, what? I said,
when I say that?
you said it. You were talking about relationships, how women are able to kind of, we bend. It might be a tree that goes way low, but we're going to be able to kind of come back. But
Yeah.
men, it's like when something hits you guys hard, it's just like, it takes a lot to put you back. Do you mind talking about that? Or if you can
Yeah.
remember any of
Now,
it?
yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm never gonna give a sweeping generalization about what all women are or what all men are, and I'm not saying that you
That's true.
suggesting that. But by and large, I would say that that's pretty true because of that same piece that I talked about earlier about being transparent. See, when you're moldable and you can be in a place where you can confess vulnerability, it's easier to bend. It's easier to bend that way. But when you have been forced to have, you got to know. You got to know the answer. You got to be right. Again, I said, who listens when a man says ouch? But how does a man win when he doesn't know? Like, where can a man go to say, I don't know? And they'll be like, you know what? You exactly what I've been praying for. I've been looking for a man
Wow.
that don't know. I've been looking for a man that doesn't have. I've been looking for a man that is in the growing process and seeking. You don't find that. So what we do is we typically front because we have to. And then when life happens, we hold on as long as we can. I mean, as long as we can. And then we can't hold on no more. Oh, change
Mhm.
is going to come. But
Right.
oftentimes it breaks us because we're
Mhm.
not willing to bend because there are no rewards for a man confessing less than lack and vulnerability by and large. So that's
Right.
where that pretty much the gist of that came from.
Right. You just tripped me out. How you was like, I said that, did I? Did I just I made a statement that profound, but it was really good because you guys went into extensive talk about it.
Thank you.
And even talking about men breaking, I know many women have that nurturing. We want to fix a man. We want to help him get to back to whoever he was before, or
Mm.
to make him into something, to make him become a man, even though we're women. So, as a what would you say to a woman who sees a man that's broken? Is it up to us to just let him do him until he's able to get to that point of healing? Or what encouragement can we give? What can we say to someone who's going through a hard time that's a man? Do we just let him go? Or what do we do?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of different scenarios that you can go by. Let's say in this situation, this is a good guy. Okay. It's a good guy
Mm,
who's just in the building process. The best thing, if you would ask me, the best thing that you can do is to consistently and fervently be yourself. Be yourself and love him not from a perspective of codependency, but love him from the perspective of I'm not trying to make you anything. You gonna make yourself.
mm,
See, it takes iron to sharpen iron. And so there is a
right.
resolve. And people say it takes a man to sharpen another man. No, iron, sometimes a woman can have iron, her resolve, her discipline, her desire to win can be iron. That can also sharpen iron if that guy's iron. Okay? If he's wood,
Okay.
it's gonna break him, it's gonna cut him, and it's gonna be a disaster. Okay?
That's good.
So
That's
iron
good.
sharpens iron. So what you
Mhm.
end up doing is we okay. How deep we going with this? We like free, but we respect expensive. So what we will always respect, now we're gonna like it if you bring the standard all the way down where it really costs us much of nothing to have you in our lives. We're gonna like it,
Mm.
but we will never respect it. We'll never respect it.
Wow.
There must be an area of the woman or just people in
Mhm.
general that you have to earn to get to it. If you give it to me before I earned it, I will not respect it. Now, I don't like sweeping generalizations, but that's pretty much a sweeping generalization. We like
That is.
free, we respect expensive. It's what you work for. So for instance, if a woman says to a guy who she wants to be in relationship with, let's start there. If she says,
Mhm.
you know what, I see some potential in you. All right. You're not ready for me yet. But here's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to be your friend with parameters, with boundaries. And if you're the man I think you are, then you're gonna rise to the challenge, and then we'll take that thing to the next level. But right now, that's not the time. So, what you have to
Mm.
really put some real parameters. You can't play no games with yourself. You can't say like, "Well, he's a work in progress, and we're just gonna be friends," but y'all friends with friends with friends. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna say something, but I had to
Right.
keep it at the cross because of the platform that I'm on. If you're gonna be friends, you got to be friends. All right. And let me say this: friends don't sleep with each other. Friends don't no not that
Right.
level of friends. Friends don't sleep together. Okay. Friends ain't intimate.
Mhm.
That's not friendship. When you're married and you got a friendship, yeah, y'all. all that nasty as you want to be,
Right.
you know, Two Live Crew, Luke, you know. But if you are truly friends, then you'll be a standard, and he will respect you because even though he tried his best, he couldn't get in. And so let me give you a real quick hint. The way you handle us is typically the way we feel like you handle every guy. And if it was easy for us, we know our game is good, but our game ain't that good. If it was easy for us, then that means it was probably, in our minds, whether it's true or not, it was easy for that next person. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, but I'm good.
Wow. Look, I just got to sit down on that one. That was good.
I'm just
That
telling you
was
about
really
us. I'm just telling
good.
you about us.
And even with talking about respect and disrespect, one of my questions, well, let me make this statement. Malcolm X talked about how the black woman is the most neglected and unprotected woman in the United States. That's been like
Sadly.
the new craze now. There's a lot of articles about it and everything. So my question is, how is it as black women can we? I don't believe it should be just one-sided respect. It's got to be on both sides as well. So how can we coincide from your standpoint with men respecting women and women respecting men? What are some ways that you suggest to your men to respect women and some ways that you all receive respect from us?
You start by being respectable. You feel me? You start by
Mm,
being respectable. That's where you start. And I'm gonna take the block on this one, but I'm gonna come right back.
okay, that's
You
fine.
typically showcase what you're most proud of. Your best asset is what you showcase. Okay. On Instagram, my friends are marveled at how I can tear an Instagram profile apart and tell you exactly how you feel about yourself. If you've posted enough, content, I can tell you how you feel about yourself
Mhm.
because and everybody, we showcase what we are most proud of and we conceal what we are not proud of. So the
That's
thing
right.
is, if you're demanding respect for your heart, if you're demanding respect for your brain, if you're demanding respect for your character, but the only thing you show me, come on, man. If the only thing you show me is physical, if the only thing you show me is your sex appeal, and we all know what we're doing. I know what shirts work best for me. I know what shirts are gonna grab my arm a certain way. All right. I know, I ain't crazy. I know what's gonna highlight me. I've been quarantined right now, but all this ain't together. But I know how to fix this up to make it pop. I know. And you know what's
Mhm.
working for you. So the thing is, if God been good to you, your ladder is greater, and everything you wear, and everything you wear is showcasing that. I'm not telling you what's right. I'm not telling you what's wrong. I'm just telling you that you may be saying more than what you intend to say. I'm just saying consider. Now, granted, there are some of us, especially our sisters, man, y'all really been blessed. That's just what that is. But I'm saying when you go out and about, like my wife, God been good, when she goes out and about, she knows, like if we going to the certain parts of town, and that every night I got to fight to prove my love. Yo, you gonna dial that back some. You have to, because you already know, because you know your husband, and I'm not gonna tolerate any kind of disrespect. That's just what that is, and that's the second part of that. The second part is I tell the guys, make that declaration to those that are important to you, and you tell them,
Mm,
hey, I love you, and let's be clear, I will never allow myself to disrespect you, but I will never allow anybody else to disrespect you. And let's be clear,
mm,
I will lose my life. I will give my life gladly protecting you. So I'm asking you, I tell my daughters, I tell my family, my whole family, I say, man, I'm asking you this. Understand what your father is willing to do for you. Don't put me negligently in a position where I have to, because you wouldn't be able to live with that.
mm.
Just understand, walk what the Bible says circumspectly, walk with some respect, walk with some dignity, carry yourself right. Don't be out here wilding. And if you're doing all of that, something pop off, Dad got you. That's what that is. So you be respectable. For me, I know when I'm out, like for my wife, I know when I'm out, and I know what I possess. I know how I show up. I can't just have friends. I just don't have the random female friends. It don't work like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I know I got what you like, and I know what you like, by and large, if I know I got it, why I'm dangling that in front of your face like that? That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to you, and it's also disrespectful to my wife. So no,
It
I'm a charming person. I have charm. I have presence. I know that. I know the greatness, the godness in me. I know. So when I show up, no, I'm gonna be overly respectful. I'm gonna be very. Now, what you're gonna see me? You're gonna see me flirt a lot and play a lot with like little kids and older
is.
people. Because come on,
Mm-hmm.
what, you know,
He loves
you
the
know,
church mothers.
right? The mothers, yeah, right, yeah. The mothers be nasty too, but that's another whole
They
situation.
are. Some of them really
Okay, well, all right, good. But I know what I
are.
have, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm respectable. I'm gonna show her respect, but I'm gonna declare the fact to her that I'm gonna always protect you. I'm gonna always be there. Just if you really need me, just know that I'm gonna be there, and that gives her a sense of security, a sense of
Yeah.
safety. Even here in the house,
Yeah.
I have firearms in my house on every one in the other house, every levels of the house. Y'all know where it is. Show you how to use it. If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
here, then that's what it is. But if I'm here, just call me. You know.
Mm-hmm. Most
I don't know if I
definitely. And
answered your
speaking,
question.
KD packing over there, y'all don't be trying to play around over there at the Bow
Walk in here if you
household.
want.
Don't do it.
Watch and see what the Lord do.
Hey, don't play. But speaking of which, your wife, I love her so much. I remember the first time we had to do something to get you on something we had going on. And I
Hmm.
spoke with her, and she's just so cordial and so nice and so sweet. And I was like, for a man to pick her, I knew that you were a genuinely good, great guy because it's a reflection of you, whoever your spouse is. And I've noticed we've had some people on the show, some women who have some really successful men, and the women that they are married to, for the majority of them who are, having a good time doing what they do, they have absolutely beautiful, nice, intelligent wives. So my question to you is, what was the thing that Ivy did that made her different than the other women that I'm sure you came in contact with? What did you love about her? I'm asking this because I want us as women to hear what a quality man is looking for in a beautiful woman.
Let me tell you something. You know. So our story is interesting. Um, I wasn't. I'm not sure I was looking for her. I couldn't. I'm gonna save that story for another whole platform. But what I
Okay.
found in her was her love for her children. She had, two kids. And so
Mhm.
I was like, it stood out. And there was something about her that there was a joy about her that she wasn't asking for anything. Like, if you're going to join my life, you're going to join a journey that's already in progress. I already know what I like. I know what I'm doing, and I'm good. So I think you cool. We can join and do it together, and it will be cooler. But there's something about a woman that is whole. Like, she ain't waiting on you to do something. Like, kind of like if she would call and say, "Hey, what you got going on?" "Oh man, nothing. Just chilling." "Really? I wanted to go out." "Really? I'm tired." "Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, let me call Tina, and we're gonna go hang out. We're gonna kick it. You don't want Netflix and chill? I only think Netflix was out that time. You don't want to just come chill? No, I don't want to come chill. I want to go out. You don't want to go out? Fine.
Mhm.
We're going to go out. Holler at you later. Something about that says, you don't need me to build your joy, build your entertainment, to build your fun. I know you love me, but you don't need me like that.
Right.
Not at this stage. I gotta carve out a place in your life with my consistency that says need. Because right now, it's good, ain't no slot. But if I keep on hollering at you, I keep on putting that KD bow, situation. A little. How you do? A little Salt Bay on it.
That little salt.
Put a little Salt Bay on it. Then I'm gonna carve out a space in your heart, and you need what that feeling that I gave you, that being, that isness. Now you need me, but in the beginning she didn't need me, and that
Right.
turned me on because I needed her to need me, and I wasn't gonna stop until she did.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that women in general, married women and single women, have unrealistic expectations of what we believe men should be to us? Or is it just a standard depending on the family that you came from or the men who've been in your life? How do you, and how do you navigate that with your own daughter? You know,
You could.
the
You
having an
could.
expectation but versus being unrealistic in that expectation.
You could have unrealistic expectations, but I guess who's to say what's unreal? Well, unrealistic is if you're expecting somebody to be perfect. Then yeah,
Mhm.
you're right. You're unrealistic. But I think that we in relationships we tend to, um, with parents, we tend to show people what we want them to know, especially with
That's true.
now the rest of the world. Granted, that ain't none of your business, but your kids need to know. Me and your mama, we argue. We argue. We get it.
Hmm.
We be salty. Not that you terrorizing them and PTSD. Fussing and y'all all that in front of them, but they need to know that we disagree. But watch this. They also need to know how to navigate a disagreement. Feel me? So many times I've seen guys who are really in their feminine energy a lot because they haven't seen what it's like to disagree with a guy, and it's actually okay. It's actually okay that we disagreed. We're probably not going to agree in this area, but we ain't got to like never talk again. Like my dude last night. We had it out. Wasn't gonna come to blows, nothing like that. I would have won, but if it did, we ain't never gonna get out there like that. I'm saying that there's something about being able to know that you can disagree, that you can have friction, that you can have problems, but it does not have to mean the end of your relationship. So the level of expectation is that I'm willing to give you, in a relationship, I'm willing to give you what's necessary. I'm willing to give really all of me. I'm willing, well, in a marriage, say that marriage, I'm willing to give, well, willing totally. In a marriage or relationship. In a marriage, you do it. In a relationship, you're willing to if it's leading to marriage. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, so
Hmm.
I'm willing to give you everything. And I just need to know, are you willing to do the same thing? Because sometimes it really is 50-50. Sometimes it is. Other times it's 75-25. And then there are some seasons it might be
Yeah.
90-10. You just got to determine, is this the person that I'm willing to do that with? So, unrealistic, will their breath not smell in the morning? Unrealistic. It's going to smell awful. Everybody does, unless you're a baby and babies don't get married and stuff and wake up in the morning. They don't do that. But,
Right.
yeah, realistically speaking, there are there are there are areas of you that honestly ain't never gonna change. It's who you are. You feel me? So you got to find somebody who will be honest enough and tell you who they are and be who they are. And if you can, in the core of your soul, believe it, even if you don't like it, now you can find out, is that something I'm willing to deal with? Is that one of those things that
Mm.
even if I pray and pray and pray, it'll never go away? Is it enough to make me say, I'm out? If it is not, you just don't like it, it's a minor irritant, you find a way to live with it. That's what Paul was talking about with that thorn in the flesh. God, your grace is bigger than this. It can help me get through this. So there's some other things that I got to do. I'm not
Yeah.
going to make my whole relationship about this thorn in your flesh, or however we want to say that. That may be
Right.
biblical, but I'm saying that you have to be honest with yourself about what you're going to be okay with and what you're not going to be okay with. Because once you get married, it's tough. It really is tough. And it's easier to say, yeah, chewing loud gets on my nerves. I don't like it. It irritates me. And if I tell you it irritates me and you don't make a concerted effort to stop chewing loud, that's the real problem. The real problem is you're not even willing to try. Now, if you
Try.
try, if you really do try, but Lord have mercy, you can't stop, then guess what? I ain't about to leave you because you chew loud. I'm married to a loud chewer. Let me tell you when I knew I was gonna marry my wife. Because and she hates this to this day. It sends her to a pretty dark place when I say it. I should probably
And you're
not say
still
it,
gonna
but
say it.
I'm still gonna say it. I said, babe, you a circle. I'm a square. I don't we don't really. It wasn't until I realized that she was still a circle, I was still a square, but I just happened to be a square that was in love with a circle. And you know what happened? Love finds a way. It finds a way. Yep.
It does.
Now we may not.
It
There's certain
does.
areas we can't interlock, but guess what? We don't need them areas anyway. We good. We straight. We gonna stay over here where we
Right.
good. Unless I'm willing to chop off some of my square sides, and I'm not because I need them. I am a square.
You
She's
do.
a circle.
Mhm.
Right. So there you go.
Most definitely. That was good. Okay, so we're gonna do this relationship rundown. Just quick
All right.
questions that I'm gonna ask you, and I want you to give me your first reaction. And this is
You
not
don't need
these questions. I'm just asking.
you don't need raw and
Look,
filtered with me. I'm
you
telling
get
you that right
scared
now.
already. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. They're not too bad. They're not bad at all. But I just want to ask some of these questions. These are from single women as well as married, divorced, everybody. So these are just quick questions we want to ask. Okay, the first question, and this is from a single woman. Why do men ghost or not have confrontation skills if they don't want to talk to you anymore? They just kind of just cut you off. So why won't he just say he's not interested anymore? Why would a man just cut you off and just never call back again?
Because you might cry. A man
Say
would
that again.
rather be because you might cry.
Ah,
A man would rather be outside naked doing angels in the snow. That he would rather walk from Johns Creek, my house, all the way to downtown than to see you cry. Let me tell you why.
wow.
Because that when a woman cries and a man believes it, that is the most vulnerable that he feels, and no man likes to feel that vulnerable, and he didn't
Mm,
elicit it. He didn't open up and become that vulnerable. It's an uncomfortable
wow.
place, and that level of uncomfortability. Yep.
Whoop.
Hello. Did you get it? Hello. That's Jesus on the
My
main
timer
line.
went off. It was like,
Are we going too far? Okay. All right. Yeah. So the
no, no,
bottom
no, no,
line
no.
is
My timer just was going off from my my other area. It's okay. Look, if you weren't finished there, I wanted you to finish that thought because that was good. Were you done with that question?
so, yeah. Pretty much. We just don't want to put you in a position where you're crying, and because you're going to ask us why, and we're going to have to hurt your feelings more. So it's just easier to just be out than to tell you whatever it is that made us bounce.
Gotcha. Okay, what is a practical way to get your husband to help out around the house more?
Compliment him when he does help out sporadically. I just talked about this on my show. If you want him to help out, compliments, praise, and compliments can get you a whole lot more than criticism ever could. So if one
Wow.
day he's outside, you didn't ask him to, he just got some bags out of the car, and you was like, "You carrying all that by yourself? Man, you strong." We were like, "Man, that ain't nothing. We're gonna get 16 more bags, huh? And we're gonna just so so what you do is you compliment us on in the area, so you water the areas that you like to see more of. So it's like, you know what? The thing I like about you, the last time you fixed such and such, it stayed fixed for years. Now it's broke again. Now I could call such and such, but I liked how you did it. When you have time, you think you can do that again? Because I really liked it. So you put a whole bunch of praise with the request. So men are built like God. We respond to praise. We do not respond to criticism at all. We respond, but
I
not
like
positively. Bishop T.D. Jakes gave that to me. I'm not even gonna try to take that on my
that.
own.
You like,
Bishop said that.
he did a great job with that. That's a good quote. On a scale of 1 to 10, how
Mhm.
important is sex to a man in marriage?
Depends on the man. Yeah, it depends on the
Mm.
man. It could be very, very, very important, and it could be not so important. We're physical creatures. We're very visual, but women are too. I mean, so it just depends on the guy. Yeah, I can't even answer that one. It's important.
Okay.
If you're asking me personally, that's none of your business.
Okay. And I saw this question. This is our last one. Why do men, this was on your page, why do men want to holler at you when you look busted or not as dressed up versus when you're all made up? You could be makeup done, hair done, but I go in the grocery store and got on some sweatpants and a t-shirt and it's like I'm not hot topic of the day. So why is that?
Yeah, it's something sexy about attainable. Yeah, you look attainable. You look regular. But especially if you are attractive, we can see the attractiveness through the regular. Okay. I ain't gotta step my game up. I ain't gotta put on no suit. And I could just holler at you. I can have a conversation. If you are all dressed to the nines, etc., some guys are gonna have a problem talking to you because you look like you can cost a little bit more than what we really want to pay right now. All I want to do is holler at you and say, hey, and if I holler at you and say, hey, based on what the way I'm dressed right now, I might get that once over, like, hey, I might get that. And that's gonna make me again feel some type of way, and I'm gonna stay away from that feeling. But if you got your hair in a ponytail, you got on some sweatpants, you cute, probably curvy or whatever. Yeah, not me per se. I'm just saying, some people, yeah, they gonna holler. Why not? Because in our minds, we see, boy, she put on her stuff, I put on my stuff. We go out, boy, we gonna kill the game, shout. We gonna, kill the game. You know. So it's about
Right.
being attainable. That's basically what it is.
Gotcha. All right.
Reachable.
And one question I had, and then I'm done. One single woman wanted to know when is the next man up meeting and can single women come?
The next man up is a virtual experience. So we've
Okay.
transformed to a virtual experience. And if we do a situation where women come, I don't know. Let me
It
put that
ain't
on
gonna
hold
work.
check. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, nah. You put a woman in the room with a bunch of guys, it doesn't turn out
Clamming
right
up.
because they don't get really they don't become really transparent. They don't tell the truth. They'll hold stuff back, and it ain't. Nah, we good.
They were just trying to, they're not trying to come to listen. They're just trying to come to see who you got in there. That's
Uh-huh.
all.
Take something out the offering basket. That's what they're coming for.
Right. All right. Exactly. Well, that is it, Mr. KD. Thank you so much for being with
You're
us
welcome.
today. I really enjoyed this conversation. And
Hey
I'm sure
man, you're
everybody
welcome.
else did that's watching.
Anytime. Anytime.
Yeah. So when do you come on Hope TV? And how can we follow you and what you have coming up next, if you want to say that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what? I don't know. I'm on Saturday. I know I'm on Thursdays. I'm on Saturdays and I'm on Mondays. The exact
Yeah.
time. You know what? Talk to
Just
the
go to
people.
his Instagram, y'all, and you can find out what's coming up next because he's so busy, he didn't know what going on probably an hour. So just follow him on that on Katie Bow on Instagram and all
There
of
you
his
go.
different social media and all of that. And then they can even tell their husbands about you and their boyfriends and the men in their life about Man Up as well. So
Yeah, come on
yeah.
through, man. It's quite the experience. It's quite the community. So definitely come through, and we got something for you. We got something for every guy. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you on. we got something for you. Whether you are a bum or a baller, we got something for every one of you. So come on through.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again, and thank you guys for watching the Pink Table Talk. We'll see you the next time. Thanks again, Mr. Katie.
You're welcome.